What's up, everybody? It's Dot Bets. We are checking back in. It is NBA Finals Game 3 between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns. So we will be here all the way up until tip off. Charles R22 asks if I'm taking the Falcons to win the Super Bowl. Obviously, no. But this is more geared towards the NBA Finals. If you got NFL questions, throw them my way. I do not mind it. The Dank Age 06 says, "What's up?" Hey man, appreciate you checking out the stream. Yeah, so we will be here up until the tip at 7. So any questions y'all got, throw them my way. I'll give you guys my 2 cents, what I'm betting, how I feel about this game, and go from there. So I'll flip between DraftKings and BetUS. I had FanDuel pulled up for a same game parlay, but I probably might just do that on my phone instead. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions, hit them up, hit them my way. Other than that, we'll go through we'll go through the total, and then we'll go through the spread, and then we'll go through some props that I'm on. If it is your first time joining the stream, make sure you are following me at .bets on Twitter. And as you guys are aware, me and Buddy Betts are working on a podcast and working on all of our NFL stuff. Probably right when the calendar turns to August, we will be football only. Maybe right after this NBA Finals, so maybe mid July or whatnot. But we will transition everything. I know I put out some MLB plays and whatnot, but we will definitely shift gears and go full on towards NFL. So you guys can expect that out of us. He is not available tonight or has not responded, so we are just live, me, myself, and I, with anybody who's got questions. So, coming into Game 3, we got the Suns up 2-0. They've taken care of home field advantage, and they've played pretty damn well. I've also noticed that the Bucks have played offensively very, very well, but defensively have struggled in this series. But there's also credit to the Suns team for shooting the way that they have and making the timely adjustments, unlike the Bucks have in this series. So the Bucks are what they would like to say they struggle with making adjustments. It's publicly known that Bud is just kind of very behind when it comes to adjustments. And before his pregame speech, and get more structured when you got this. When you got in the NBA Finals. So I don't know. Hopefully he doesn't play as random tonight. The Dank Age 06 says, "I'm liking Bucks first half." Yep. So that is my play of the day for VIP as well. So anybody who always checks out these streams, I like to give out VIP plays. I think it's only right for people who I know people pay for the plays, but I also tune into my streams, so I appreciate all forms of engagement. But yes, I am on the Bucks first half. I got them at what is it right now? So it's 4 right now. I got them at 3 this morning. So yeah, so we are at the Bucks are 29, 12, and 2 in the first half spreads when they are listed as favorites. And then in this postseason, they're 6-0-2. So they have not lost a first half spread bet this entire postseason. They've tied a couple times, but they have not lost. So 6-0-2. That is my favorite stat. I got another stat that I like with it is home teams being down 0-2 in this series have gone 71, 39, and 2 against the spread in the first half since 02 and 03, and that's only in the NBA Finals. So that is an incredible stat that I foresaw I'm I'm not too much of a trend guy. I like that the trends kind of helped me there, but I also the second quarter because I think it was just the Suns role players shooting lights out. So I'm expecting more aggression tonight, especially being on the road. Even though the Suns are a very very good road team, so I'm not gonna sugarcoat this and think this is an easy win for the Bucks. But I definitely think that there's going to be some regression tonight in the part of the Suns. So we got SMV Red. Appreciate you checking out the stream, man. What about the over under? Good question. I will talk about the first for the what do you call it? The full game. I had it at 221, and now it's at 220. So I am leaning the under here. Mainly, I think both teams like to play fast, and I think there's going to be a bunch of shots thrown up there. There's just the Bucks shot 44% in the game one from three-point range, and the Suns shot 50%. If you don't think that there's going to be some type of regression with these two teams competing against each other, and defensive schemes, they've had an extra day of rest, extra day of practice. I think that's going to translate to a little bit more defense, a lot less easy shots. So you can kind of see it both ways. That's how I lean in this game, the under. And I don't know. I know that the Suns absolutely I think their main point in the first two series was like to get the ball in the front court with like 4 seconds, between 3 to 4 seconds. So they had a lot of shot clock to run their Chris Paul full court. Well, I think that's tired Jrue Holiday out. I still think he's going to do it. I just hope he doesn't do it as much. And speaking of Jrue Holiday, I think he has to play better. Him and Middleton are obviously the keys to this game. If you are the Milwaukee Bucks, you just had Giannis go off for a 42-12 performance on basically 1.5 knees. He looks like he's completely healthy, but I'm still not buying that. I know Buddy would probably be a little bit against me for saying that because he thinks this is the NBA Finals. You should go balls to the walls. But for whatever reason in my head, I just do not think he's 100% healthy. So I gotta have Middleton. I gotta have Holiday tonight. It just has to happen if Holiday or Middleton. They have to produce points. So I'm leaning a little bit more on Jrue Holiday because I think Middleton has a tough defensive assignment against him with Mikal Bridges. I think Bridges has been giving him fits. What we've talked about in past streams, but I think the Suns need to do, or that the Bucks need to do, is kind of what the Clippers did with Marcus Morris, where they would post up Booker on one end, and it would be Marcus Morris versus Booker. I think they need to have some type of switch on that area with Middleton and Booker. That's kind of get him in rhythm. Maybe get Booker in foul trouble and get him out of the game early in the first half. But I do think that there is going to be some necessary adjustments to be done for Middleton and Holiday. I didn't like how Holiday just horseshit shots. I think that it was forced. I think it was scripted, and it kind of dictated the game pretty much, in my opinion. And Holiday shot like, 6 of 20 in that game. It was horrible. I mean, he came out and shot like the first 11 shots for them, and I get being aggressive, but I just do not see them doing that again. So SMV Red, true, it's hard to rain buckets like that 2 games in a row. I 100% agree, especially on the Suns end, being on the road. If you saw our past stream for Game 2, we were very high on Crowder, and we thought he was going to have a big bounce back game. He ended up having that. We did not say anything about Bridges, but Bridges ended up having the game of his life. He had 27 points, I believe. Yeah, 27 points. That's like, he's not going to have that again. There's no way he can do that again. He's more of a role player that ended up hitting the shots that he was taking. So I just think he's going to regress some, not take that many shots. It's going to be back to the Ayton, Chris Paul, and Booker show with a little bit of Crowder mixed in. And then you got Cameron Payne coming back in to utilize that change of pace. But so Yeah, my first bet of the day is first half Bucks -3. That is my, if you want to call it, play of the day. I got 2 units on that. So if you guys know how I bet 1 to 3 unit. I'm not a 10 unit max banger whale play guy. I do not do that. I think that's smokes and gadgets, and just I don't believe in that kind of hoax stuff. So it's kind of long-term betting with me. 2 units, so I got 1 unit is $100, so I got $200 on the Bucks first half -3 right now, and then I do have a half a unit play on the under, so that's a $50 play that I have on the under. Just as we were speaking, it went down to 220, so we are at 220. I got it at 221. It's at 220 and a half and 220. So I think as the more people kind of get home from doing what they're doing throughout the day and start betting public bets, it's going towards the under, which surprises me. Maybe the money is going towards the 220 under, because a lot of times people go the favorites, a lot of times people go the overs. So SM are very red. I like CP3 over on points. He can see the ring now. Interesting question there. Interesting perspective, because last game I was on his double-double because I thought he was going to be a facilitator a little bit more. So let me see what his prop is at here. 22 and a half. I don't mind that whatsoever. Only reason is because I think he's going to have to what do you call it? Step up, I guess. So he's really had a really slow start. Him and Booker have very, very, very slow starts. Another reason why I like the Bucks first half, but he has been a little bit more of a scorer in this series. So you kind of tend to see him get his mid-range shots. Him and Booker kind of whenever they can. So in that aspect, I do like that over with CP3 here. I am gonna check what his double-double is, because I might sprinkle on that. So it's the same line. So double-double, and then on BetUS, I'll see here, but it was like -120. So it was an incredible disparity, which kind of threw us off. Let me see, Chris Paul. So +145 on BetUS. So +145 BetUS and +135 on DraftKings. So it's a little bit more aligned, a little bit more there. I do like that play tonight. If they are going to keep it close, the role players are going to have to play a little bit better. But I still think he can get to that 10 assists. He's not going to get it rebounds. Definitely not going to get it rebounds. But he could get it with his assists. -120. It's favorited to go over at -120. That's why I kind of like, instead of taking the over 8.5 assist wise, you just say, well, let's take plus money and get the double-double. So you're not eating any juice, anything like that. So that's where I'm coming from with CP3 here. One person that I thought played a little soft in game 2 was DeAndre Ayton. He still had a double-double. He had 10 points and 11 rebounds, and they had that iconic video with him and Monty telling him he can play with force, doesn't have to be with stats. Tonight he's going to have to do both if the Suns are going to be there, because I think the Bucks are going to play big, and I think Lopez is going to be involved. Giannis will play the 5 some more, and Tucker. So it'll be those 3. We were on Portis last time. For whatever reason, Portis got like 4 minutes the entire game. I don't understand that whatsoever. So maybe look for Portis's over points. It was like 6.5 last game. I don't even know if it's not even up on DraftKings right now. So I don't even know if they're, because everybody's kind of like just confused on his minutes. But Ayton over 15.5 points is a good bet, in my opinion. I think he's going to have a rebound game. I was on more of his rebounds last game, but I think he's going to have to put up more points this game. Giannis being over 31.5 is incredible. It's gone up. It was like 24.5, 28.5. Now it's 31.5. So I'm off of that completely. I'm not going to bet anything Giannis, just in case something happens with his knee that it ends up screwing us. So I've been off Giannis's props majority of the finals here just because you don't know. And then Booker has been 28.5. Booker's been I think this has been the same line every game. It's been 27.5 or 28.5. I like the under with this Booker here tonight, just solely based on being on the road. And I think this is a game that the Bucks desperately need, and I think they're going to put everything into this game 3. Love that first half play, like I said. But then you could also go long term in the game and end up taking the Bucks -4 or -4.5. So I'm if I got a dial, I'm leaning it towards the Bucks tonight. I woke up thinking I went to sleep last night thinking I'm going to take Suns money line. I think the Suns got this. They smell it. They got it. But ultimately, I'm going to side with the Bucks tonight. This might be the one and only game I side with the Bucks in this series. I do believe this goes 5 or 6, but we will see. I do not think it's going to be Suns in 4, like the famous guy. So we'll see. Keep the questions coming. I will dissect it and then go through it all the way up until tip off. So get a little bit over an hour left. Just to recap game 2 a little bit of reasons why I'm on the under. So the Suns hit 20 3-pointers in that game, and the over went over by 5 points. That was 20 3-pointers were the second most in NBA Finals history. So that was an extraordinary effort by the Suns last game, and that over barely hit. I just don't see it again. I don't see it whatsoever. So my gut's telling me all the signs point to the under, in my opinion. I know these teams like to play fast and shots will get up. Just no way. I just don't see them hitting at that high of a rate. No way. I just don't see it. Then we got then you got Bridges coming off of a 27-point game. So you got CP3 having like 20 points. Then you had Booker having over 30 points. Then you had Bridges having 27. So those are where your majority of the points are coming from. So who's going to be that third scorer tonight for the Suns? I don't see it being Bridges again. I don't see anybody getting to that 20-point range besides Booker or CP3. The only other person I think could happen is DeAndre Ayton. That's the only guy. So other than that, I don't see Crowder hitting. I don't see Bridges back there, and you're not going to get Payne 20 points. You're not going to get Cam Johnson 20 points. So all the Bucks truly need to limit is a third scorer. Paul and Booker are going to get theirs. They're going to get theirs, but they got to limit that third guy. If they limit that third guy, they blow this. They blow the Suns out tonight. But we shall see. It's all about adjustments, and Bud has been very, very lackadaisical on his adjustments there. And then, as you guys can see with Middleton, the way Middleton goes, the Bucks go in the playoffs. We got Middleton. They are 1 for 6 when he shoots under 50% in the playoffs, and they are, for the season. No, sorry, playoffs. And then we got 11-1 in the playoffs when they are when he shoots above 50%, and he shoots 52% from the field goal percentage at home. So he shoots better at home. He plays better at home. Same with him and Drew tonight. So I'm leaning the Bucks solely on the home field advantage there, and then the regression of the Suns shooting. Charles R22, who you got for 3-point made? My go-to this entire season, postseason, sorry, has been Crowder, over 2.5. He's been my go-to. Him and Bridges. It started with the Nuggets series. Those guys would just sit in the corner and they'd hit 4, 5, 6 3-point all the time, and I would just pound this over 2.5, over 3.5, over 1.5 for Bridges or whatnot. Tonight, I'm leaning Crowder, and I'm leaning Booker, and then I'm leaning Middleton. So I'm leaving Holiday out based on the minus 180, but I lean Middleton, Crowder, and Booker. If you want to throw some money on Giannis to hit one, I don't believe. I mean, you can. I don't believe he hits one tonight. He might try or attempt 2 or 3, but I'm just not going to put my money towards that. Chris Paul being plus money for three-point field goals made. I just wouldn't do it tonight. I think it's going to be the Booker show with Crowder, and Middleton's got to step up tonight. Drew Holiday, I think, is going to drive a little bit more, get a little bit more mid-range jump shots. So that's where my head is at with the three-pointers tonight. Then you could also flirt around with Bridges again, see if he's hot early. But safer play is Crowder, because I've seen him do it plenty of times. And then you got Booker. He hit 7 last game. Do think there's bound to have regression, but it's a value play. It's for him to only hit 3. So that's where I'm at with my three-pointers tonight. And then a couple other notes about Game 2 that I think we'll see some adjustments tonight. I mean, and then you got to think about with this 3-point range, do the Bucks keep shooting a lot of threes, because they were really good in Game 1 and they were okay in Game 2. A complete adjustment on that end. So, because the Bucks did outscore the Suns 54-28 in the post, in the paint, in Game 2. But you know, the good old saying, I trade threes for twos any day of the week. That's kind of the NBA, how it goes. That's the reason, obviously, why the Suns are up 2-0. I mean, you just had an all-time NBA Finals game from Giannis, and then you also in Game 1 had a 44% three-point shooting of yourself. So you're kind of sitting there thinking, okay, what the hell am I supposed to do to beat this Suns team? That's crossed my head too. We're thinking maybe take the Suns. I just think that when you flip the series, you know, the Suns did their job. That's kind of how business. So that's where I'm at with that. And then we got the Dank Age 06. Yeah, I like Middleton over 2.5 threes. I think that's the guy for Milwaukee. I definitely think that's the guy for Milwaukee tonight. I don't know what he's done overall in this series. I want to say he's hit. Let me check real quick. I'm pretty sure he hit that in Game 1, but I'm not sure what he did in Game 2. Let me check. So Game 2, he went 1 of 6. And then Game 1, he went 5 of 12. So he's taken 18, so he's 6 of 18. And I think it's going to be more towards Game 1 with that volume. And that volume will speak to Middleton there for sure, three-point range. Another one that I like from Middleton, he's going to be involved tonight, over 4.5 assists. So he's had that. He had 4 in Game 1, and then he had, I think, 6 in Game 2. He had 8 in Game 2. Sorry, so he had 4 and then 8. So he's going to be involved a lot, and the easy ones that he can get are when he's doing the pick and roll with Middleton and Giannis, and he lobs it up to Giannis, gets a nice little easy assist there. So that is probably one of my favorite props of the night is Middleton over 4.5 props, or 4.5 assists. So if you guys are new to the stream, just hopping on, throw your questions in the chat. I'm answering them. My biggest play of the night is Bucks first half -3. It's currently at -4. I have it for 2 units. I would probably scale it down to 1.5 or 1 unit if you're going to get 4, but you can also go to 3 and trying to see or see what different odds you can get. That's where my head sits at tonight. You can also take Bucks full game -4, and then I'm also on the under. So I think if the Bucks are going to win this game, the under correlates very, very well with it. I liked the damn under game 2, and the Suns had phenomenal shooting effort, and the over hits. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the over hit because Chris Paul threw a behind the back bullshit pass that went out of bounds with like 50 seconds to go. The Bucks weren't going to foul, and it was like, I think it was at 1-8 or 218, and then he threw it behind the back, and I had a 3 at the end. So that, yeah, I remember that now. That kind of pisses me off. So I'm pissed that I remember that. But no, I'm on the under. I like the under more and more that I talk about it out loud. If anybody else is on the under, throw that in the chat. If you guys are on the over, let me know why you guys like the over as well. We can go through more props that I like. So Holiday assist, or no, Middleton assist, where I was at. And then point totals. Another one that I like tonight is Drew Holiday over 19.5. Seam. What's up, Seam? Appreciate you coming back, buddy. Yo. I had a day, I had a max stake on Italy. Today feels good. Wow. I bet you were sweating that game. I was out of my nephew's birthday party, so I was catching it a little bit here and there. But yeah, the Euros, that was pretty crazy. Go Italy. The trophy's going Rome, right? It's Rome, not home to England. Seam, have one bet today. Giannis over 12.5 rebounds. We were on that last game. He finished with 12. Pissed us off. It was actually 13.5, so it went down, it looks like. So 12.5 minus 140. You know, it was 13.5 game 1 or game 2. So there has been a market correction, which you do in this essence. I like that because you are seeing Vegas correct that line, and I do think you could get close to Giannis rebounds. So it's actually over. So they're thinking 13.6. So that's a great one. They have the FanDuel line here for some reason at 13.5. I do like I like that play. I was on that play with Ayton last week in my same game parlay. Ayton, for whatever reason, was not being aggressive, not going to get the ball rebound wise. So he did not hit, and then Giannis ends up with 12 as he had a monster game offensively for the Bucks. I do think he does not get close to 40 points tonight. The Suns will make some adjustments there, but ultimately it's going to come down to Middleton and Holiday for this game. What do you think about Ayton over 1.5 assists? What has he done in the series? He's usually not handling the ball too much. So game 2, Ayton had 4 assists. Wow. And then game 1, he had 0 assists. So that line at 1.5, you'd think it sits right in the middle at 2. So let's see what Fantasy Labs says. In my head, I would say yeah. You know, he could get a kick out, a couple kick outs here and there, but just big men with assists scare me. That's the only reason why I'm not recommending that. Let's see what. Where are his assists? So that's actually a 10 rating from Fantasy Labs. So is it plus 190? Is it really plus 190? Let's go assists. Plus 175. Plus 175, and that's a 10 rating, probably due to value on that from Fantasy Labs. but they are projecting 2.1. So they do like that. I'm okay with that. If that backs it up, definitely take that. That could be for a same game parlay. Ayton over assists. Not a bad one. Okay. Not a bad one there. I just always think of Ayton having. I always think of Ayton just with the double-double or rebounds or points, just because that's in my head how he's playing the game. But that assist angle is pretty interesting. Take where he could potentially get the ball on the post, pass it back out. Booker hits a shot. Chris Paul hits a shot. Crowder hits a shot, and he only needs to get two. So not a terrible look there. I like that play. I'm probably just going to throw that in the same game parlay and not a straight play because I like that juice to flow in that same game. But I like that. Good look. Seam going with over 12.5 and 14.5 rebounds from my boy Giannis. This is all him. He's starting to get more minutes as a small ball center. Yeah, and I think they're going to do more of that tonight with him being the 5, and then Lopez playing a little bit less minute-wise and throwing Giannis at the 5. So if Giannis is the 5, he's going to snatch every rebound possible. So I did say he could get to about 15 rebounds tonight. So I do like that. Let's see. So they projected 13. Let's see what his points and rebounds are. 13. His points, rebounds are 45. So they're slightly saying he's going to have, they think he'd have more. I mean, if you put those two together, you're at 31.5 and you're at 12.5. I mean, it's right there. But more of the 5, a little bit more urgency. And I just, maybe it's just me being cautious. I do think his knee is not fully healthy, but he has shown that it does not need to be fully healthy to have a career game. Obviously, last game was 42 points, 12 rebounds, had an incredible game to the likes of all the NBA greats. So that was kudos to him, and it was actually really, really awesome to see as an NBA fan. Even though I was on the Suns and they pulled it out, definitely something to be encouraged coming back home if you are a Bucks fan, for sure. Can you see how many blocks they expect for Giannis? Blocks are right here. So they're thinking 1.3. I think it's at 0.5. So they got that as a 7 rating. What's his blocks at? If it's 0.5. I mean, it's minus 235. I mean, there's not really much value there. I don't know if your book allows you to get maybe 1.5 to get a little bit more odds, but they're projecting 1.3. So 1.3 right here. So that with a 7 rating. I don't know what he's got. Combine it, yeah. That's not a bad for a little parlay over 0.5 blocks. Let's see what he did. I know he had one in game 1. 1 block in game 2. Oops. And he had 1 block in game 1, 3 blocks in game 2. So he had a hell of a game. God bless. 42, 12, 4, and 3. Unbelievable. So he had 3 blocks. I do see some of the same. How they had 2 blocks. He's been pretty damn good defensively as well. with CP3 assists tonight. So yeah, Seam, you were probably not on the stream as we were talking about this, but so it's 8.5 or 9.5 for like -120. We anticipate him scoring tonight a little bit more. It's at 22.5. So obviously that part of the double is going to hit. So I've been on this line. Game 2, I'm going to go back to it. So instead of taking the juice at -120 for that assist, let's just do a double for Chris Paul, which sits at +135. So go back to the double. So you got Chris Paul at 135 right here for the double. That's my thought with Chris Paul tonight, and maybe not do as much juice on the 8.5 or 9.5, and you can kind of do that with the Chris Paul, because I do think he finally gets to that 10 assist tonight. I want to actually see what Fantasy Lab says too. That's just my pure gut call there. His assists, so they think he's going to get 10 as well. So I do like that. Over 8.5, it's an 8 out of 10 scale. So definitely think he gets to that range. But if that's the case, I'm taking the double and taking juice from it. So that's where I'm at. He's got to get that double. In fact, I think Booker is in front of him for the MVP in this series, and I think Chris Paul wants that mightily. So I mean, you might see Chris Paul taking a little bit more initiative out there and doing that. So I mean, I don't know how you guys feel. Who do you guys think is the MVP in this series so far through 2 games? Seam says Booker for sure. And then CP3, and then Giannis. Obviously, if the Bucks win, Giannis gets it. But Devin Booker has for sure taken control of the MVP in this series. Yeah, Booker, Dan Gage 06 says the same. Yeah, so that's even more kind of motivation for CP3. He's always kind of had this underdog mentality. So, hell, Suns win the series, get a couple doubles here and there. Maybe a little bit more motivation for him. That's just a different angle. That maybe he's thinking about. Maybe he doesn't give 2 shits. But that's where my head stands at with CP3. So, yeah, double for him tonight. I would not worry about the over 8.5 or over 9.5 assists. So speaking of Booker, here are the stats. Here are the props. Here are the projections for Booker tonight. So it was over 28.5. Fantasy Labs thinks he gets to 30. I'm personally would be on his under tonight. I just maybe just myself being on the under for the entire game. I don't want to see a Booker 30-point game or a 30-plus game. But I also ultimately think he does not shoot the ball as well. He got off to a cold start in both the games, but he hit 7 3-pointers last game. With 7 out of 12, he shot like 50% from the whole field. Still got to the free throw line. I think with what happens in Milwaukee, he does not get as many calls as he did in Phoenix. So that's where I'm leaning the under here, 28.5 points for Booker. Rebounds, he doesn't get too many rebounds. Let's see. His 3-point shot is at 2.5, and Fantasy Labs thinks it's 2.5. So I would lean the over there. I think if he's going to get a couple more 3-point shots, he did shoot 12 last game. Let's see what he did game 1. Game 1, he shot 8, and he went 1 of 8, and then we went 1 of 8, and then 7 of 12. So he's just on pure volume. I like that 2.5 over 3-point field goals, but I'm just not going to take that over 28.5. So let's go to the 2 X factors in the game that I think are the Suns' that need to play well if the Suns are going to win. So it's Bridges and it's Crowder. So let's take a look at Bridges points, but that is very, very juiced. And then you got his points sits at 12.5. If you guys have a feeling that Suns can keep this close, maybe go up 3-0, 12.5 is pretty good point total for him tonight. I think they're going to get plenty of action on both ends there, because you're thinking, hey, the Bucks are got to stop him. He's going to get under, or hey, the Suns are going to make adjustments and he's going to still be able to get his shots and get his. So maybe that's where your heads are at. My head would be on the under for this. I'm not going to take it because I think it's a very, very good line, and there's nothing from Fantasy Labs kind of takes me over the edge of it as well. So seam points battles. So who's scoring the most points? Is that what that is? Yeah, I would assume so. Giannis versus Booker. I would take Giannis. Giannis is projected 31.5 and Booker's 28.5. So yeah, Giannis there. Lopez versus Bridges. What the hell's Lopez at? It's a pretty good one, actually. They're both at 12.5. So I'm gonna lean here with Fantasy Labs, since there wasn't a rating on Bridges over 12.5, and this is one because they're at home, two because I think they're going to score a lot more points in the paint tonight. I think that he contributes to that, and then he could also hit one or two three-pointers for the Bucks tonight. So I lean the Lopez there over Bridges. CP3 versus Middleton. Damn, that's another good one. My gut's telling me Middleton, but here. So I would do Middleton over CP3, but CP3 over Drew, if that makes sense. Because I think Middleton's going to have to score tonight, and then CP3 is going to have to score, obviously, as well, but more than Drew. I think Drew is going to try to be aggressive, but just for whatever reason in this series, he has not been able to get in rhythm. So I do like, I would go with Middleton over CP3 and then CP3 over Drew. I like those though. That's pretty good spots. What are those odds on those last two? CP3 and then Middleton and Drew. That might persuade me a little bit more. I'm gonna take a look at Drew's points. So his is over 19.5, and then it's an 8 rating because I think he's gonna get 21.8. That was a point total that I liked to target. Over 19.5. He's gonna have 20 points tonight. CP3 is minus 129 to Drew. Yeah, I agree with that. And then Middleton's probably favored against CP3. Yeah, Middleton minus 140 versus CP3. Yeah, you would definitely think that Middleton needs to outscore the Suns. If you're on my wavelength where you're saying, hey, I need to get the damn, the Bucks need to have this tonight for sure. So yeah, definitely agree with those. Lopez is plus 100 versus Bridges. Oh, I like that. Plus money. Giannis minus 140. Yeah. Giannis could mess around with another 40-point game, but I think if the Bucks want to win, he does not need to score 40. He needs to get role players. Oh, you're okay. You're okay. Yeah, he just needs to get some support from these two guys, Holiday and Middleton. Holiday and Middleton are the key to the Bucks winning tonight. So yeah, if we still got any other questions, throw them in the chat. Love the interaction. This is great. We're probably going to be here. I think tip is at 7. So I'll be here. We got about 20 more minutes. Any other angles you guys see? Any other questions you guys got? Doesn't have to be related to this game. I have a bet on pod right now. Good luck. All right, man. Sounds good. Also, what I'm gonna start trying to do with this channel, gonna start. I would say gaming. It's more of me getting on throughout the week and discussing, especially during the NFL season, because I know there's a lot of news that happens. So I think what I'm going to start doing is streaming my game that I'm playing, Kings, anything like that. So that's kind of the way I think I'll stream a little bit more. Instead of having these pre-game shows, I'll have, hey, I'm playing this game, come check me out, and I'll answer any questions in regards to NFL season, anything like that. So let me know if you guys like that idea. If you guys don't, let me know what you guys would recommend me doing. I'm just trying to be a little bit more accessible to you guys going up until the NFL season, because I know we're going to miss out on these pregame shows, and I know that's when a lot of you guys tune in to get, any opinion for your guys' bets for the NBA Finals. Once that fizzles out, we're going to just go straight NFL. And so kind of leading up to that, we're going to do obviously our podcast, obviously some live streams with me and Buddy, but then it's just me, but definitely trying to get this channel up and running. If you guys have any of your guys' friends that are in between on taking some plays, have them reach out to me, have them check out the channel. We are very, very close to being an affiliate to this channel and get even more content from us, whether it be in a Discord, rather it be in a private chat or whatnot. We are going, this is just like the beginning stages of where we are going to go with our product, and we are trying to produce what we call a gambling family, where we discuss everything and anything gambling wise, fantasy wise. So we are definitely going to be that product that we want to deliver to you guys. So if you guys have any questions in regards to any of that, shoot them in the chat and let me know, because that's the direction we feel we could go. Me and Buddy. If Buddy can't be available sometimes, it's just going to be me. So we are definitely in this for you guys, and the more content we can produce for you guys, the better. So I don't know if you guys screw around with these DraftKings props boost. I do not. I think they're a little bit more of a gimmick. Dan says, "Hell yeah, sounds good." Yeah, I think that's just gonna help, because the more accessible we could be to you guys. I know it's as easy as shooting a DM, but sometimes people don't want to shoot out a DM. Somebody can just sit here, watch me play Call of Duty for an hour, and I answer all your fantasy questions. I'm not really worried about how well I'm doing in the game. I'm just here for you guys, and I do that probably on a nightly basis. Play some type of video game, whether it be PGA Golf, the show, maybe Madden, whatever the hell it is. I'm playing that, and then if I'm accessible to you guys, I think that's pretty neat idea that we can kind of continue to do. And then we'll also have podcast out, and then obviously our live streams to discuss solely fantasy and DraftKings. I don't know if anybody here plays DFS for NFL. If you do, let me know, because that is I take that hardcore for NFL season. I go pretty wild with it. We're not maxing out the Millie Maker, but we are going in small GPPs, maxing those out. 150 plus lineups, giving you guys my best stacks and everything like that. So let me know if you guys do play DraftKings DFS. I solely play on DraftKings. I don't play on FanDuel. It's a little bit different scoring, and I feel a little bit more comfortable on DraftKings, as you guys can see with everything kind of on that end. So leading back up to it, so we'll probably be here for another 5 minutes. Let's go 5 or 10 more minutes if the chat's slowing down a little bit. Um, I'm trying to recap game two a little bit in my head. So, if you are thinking Suns out there, never really mess with that. Yeah, so you might be able to, pick up doing maybe keep it to single entries, maybe keep it to $5, $10 single entries here and there, but just learning strategies for it and kind of thinking, hey, if this team's going to go off, stack them with a couple stragglers in there. We'll cross that path when it gets to it. But yeah, definitely think that's an avenue we can take this channel for sure. But yeah, if you are thinking the Suns out there, which I don't know, maybe I've persuaded you guys not to, but the Suns are a very, very good road team, especially this postseason. They're 24-12 this against the spread during the season, and then 6-2 in the postseason. So 9-3 as a road dog as well. So they've done a good job on the road. Just in the aspects of injuries for the Bucks. But no, the Suns definitely do cause a concern for the Bucks tonight. And, but the Bucks have been in this scenario. They were in the scenario against the Nets, and they came out of it. I do believe that injuries helped that. This is a different beast that they're going to have to overcome. I think it's simple for the Bucks. If they limit Paul and Booker to get theirs, and they limit the other three, Ayton, Bridges, or Crowder, to under 20 points, they win this game. And then on the other aspect, if the Bucks get more value out of Middleton and Holiday, they cruise tonight. They cruise. I think they win by 10 plus. It's just a cat and mouse game of how they're going to respond. There's going to be runs, but the Bucks are up 9 points in the first quarter last game. They came out strong. So I'm really, really, really excited to see how they respond tonight, and especially being at home, they got the crowd behind them, and they play significantly better at home. And we also I'm on the page of, I'm thinking there's going to be some regression tonight. So. If you guys have any other last minute questions, throw them in the chat. I'll sit here for probably about five more minutes or so. Hell of a stream. This is great. Love all the engagement. And we are just at the beginning stages of all these streams to get the ball rolling with content. So let us know if you have any suggestions that we should be doing. If not, we'll let you know. We'll do another stream pregame show of game 4, which I believe is Wednesday. So it'll be Wednesday night. It will be Wednesday, and that's at 8, so we'll probably shoot for another show right around 7. So 6:30, 7-ish, in between there. And then if you have not already checked out some of my other content that I'm doing, it's for Wager Rakes. So Wager Rakes Media, we are doing daily shows. We haven't done them in a couple days. Azim Rakes has been under the weather, but if you want to go check out, it'll be daily MLB videos, and then we'll do some NBA shows. But this is usually the NBA show that I take. This is my baby, so we're doing all this stuff here, and then it will transition to NFL shows where we pretty much give you everything. So. Let me know if you guys have any other questions about Game 3 tonight. I think it's going to be a fascinating game. Very, very excited for it. And I do believe the Bucks end up winning this game. Could do it where you parlay the Bucks money line first half and the Bucks money line for the entire game. And I'm sure it's probably plus 150 or something like that, plus 160 or whatnot. So let's see if the line has changed since being on. It's still at 4.5, and it did go from 220 to 220, or 220.5 to 220. That was probably early on in the stream. So everyone's in agreement that they believe that the under should hit tonight. I'm under that same wavelength. So, all right. I think that sums it all up for this pregame show. We got about 20, extremely close to being an affiliate with Twitch. Once that happens, we will definitely put a lot more content out and produce a lot more for you guys. Just to engage with us, and we love doing this for you guys. And just keep the chat rolling, and we'll go from there. So let's cash on our best tonight. See you, boys.